Hi, Dylan.
Evening, how are you?
Evening. So this is your picture, yeah?
This is mine, yeah, this is my entry.
Fantastic. So this is Rankin's 2020. I'm doing some interviews with some of the photographers that have entered. This is a brilliant picture, and you've entered it under family. Could you explain why it's under
Yeah,
family?
I work with this guy, and in fact, the people I've worked with for a long time. And even though we're not joined by blood, we are a family because we share each other's woes, troubles, births, birthdays. So that's why I entered it into family. You know, not traditionally in the traditional sense, but it was apt. You know,
Tell
um,
us about him. Tell us about this bloke. What's his name?
his name was Adrian, or Adi for short.
He's good.
Um,
Is he loving it? Is he love the fact that he's
well, he thinks that he's got to walk around with a hammer permanently now. That's the problem I've got. So he's gone to its
so
head a
people
little
so
bit.
people recognise him, you mean?
Well, this is it, you know. So when he's walking around Norwich, he's expected to not only carry the hammer, but to obviously wear a high vis.
So are you and you're not a professional, you're an amateur, yeah?
Yeah, I'm an amateur. That's correct.
What other stuff do you photograph? What are you into?
Um, well, initially I started taking a lot of street photography,
Yeah.
and then it started to turn more towards portraiture. Usually I take two types, one outside and usually against the backdrop as well. And against the backdrop, they're more painterly looking, as opposed to this sort of contrasty looking that I tend to take outside.
Is this lit? Did you like this? Is there
Yeah.
some flash going on? What is it, side flasher?
Yeah, it is. What I tend to do is I set the exposure in the camera down,
Yeah.
and then what I'll do is I'll turn the strobe up and try and find the balance between the two, and that's what gives it that sort of isolation effect as
And
such.
what is it that you get out of photography? What is it that you love about it?
It's almost capturing it, as cliched as it sounds. There's just a moment. You just capture that. I mean, like that. The picture that you see, you'll never see again, or it's gone. But all it is, you manage to capture just that particular moment, and you offer sort of other people a glimpse into it.
Yeah.
If that sort of makes sense.
Yeah. So it's how you see the world, right?
Yeah, and then obviously people can look and have a little glimpse and basically take out whatever they decide to take out, and that's it.
And what's lockdown been like for you? What's the last sort of,
Well,
lockdown
lockdown was boring. It's been okay as such. I mean, I did another series as well, sort of London during lockdown. So the first time that we was allowed to travel more than 20 miles, I hit the West End, and it was dead. It was unbelievable. There was like joggers and cyclists. So it's been crazy. I mean, from that sort of aspect, it enabled me to whiz around, park wherever you want. Didn't really matter. You weren't getting a ticket. Just jump out and just start snapping back in the car and on. So it's been a strange time for everybody, not only myself.
And what are you hoping is going to kind of, have you got some things that you're kind of hoping to shoot in the future?
Yeah, I'm going to start concentrating more on portraiture because I think I like it. And it's a case of just finding that one shot out of 50 to 100. And that's the only, and it's just, as I said, going back to sort of similar sort of thing about this shot, it's just that little, you get it.
Yeah.
And that's what you sort of, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for that particular moment. And then when I've got that, then it's good. You can jump around.
When did you come to photography? Have you been doing it for a long time?
No. I first did photography when I was 17 for a BTEC, so that's about 1825 or so it feels. And then that was it. And it was, so I stopped around about 17, 18 after college because sort of like turning your mum's council house into a dark room was a no-go. It wasn't going to allow. And then sort of as phones got better, I started clicking. And then 8 to 9 months ago, I bought a second-hand sort of D750 and some primes, and that was it. from there.
Great. So
Yeah.
maybe professional. You're going to try and turn professional.
I'd love to. Who wouldn't? You know, it'd be ideal. Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately the goal for me personally, because, you know, I'd love to be able to do something that I love for a living. It's that simple. You know, most people would. So, fingers crossed.
And have you got any questions you want to ask me?
Yeah, I mean, how did you keep yourself busy during lockdown? What did you do?
Oh, I've wanted to photograph flowers for a long time, so I ended up photographing a load of flowers, and you can actually look at them. It's my Instagram is @Flora by Rankin,
Okay.
and it has all my flowers. And I photographed, I think, something like 1,000 pictures of flowers. So.
Is that because you literally had the time to?
Yeah, the time it's really interesting because recently, because I used to shoot every day. Like I was a bit of a kind of maniac in the way I shot. And actually, what has happened is because of lockdown, I've actually slowed down a little bit with what I shoot, and it's given me a chance to kind of. I mean, I did take pictures every day, but it was on my own. It was very much for myself, and now I'm kind of getting back into kind of working commercially again. I'm starting to say no to a lot of things because I feel like I much prefer when I spend more time on it and really think about it.
So in a way, it's been beneficial for you. Not only have you sort of picked up a project that you've been working with, but moving forward, it sort of give you a different outlook on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think, I mean, I was in a very privileged position that I could take pictures. And the weird thing is, if you look at the pictures that I've taken, I've kind of made them like characters, so they almost have personality. So it was it was funny. They're a bit kind of self-indulgent, but I've really enjoyed it, and they were very therapeutic. You know, I got to go and spend an hour and a half, just photographing a flower without having to talk to anyone or think about anything or be on a Zoom call, which I absolutely hate being on. All right, well, listen, that's great. Really good to chat to you. And thank you so. Your entry's brilliant. I love it for family. And if you want to follow Dylan, what's your Instagram, Dylan?
It's dylan.mccarthy.photographer.
Check it out. He wants to be a professional, and as I said earlier, you've got 29 hours, I think, to enter into this. You could be like Dylan and get on an Instagram live with me talking about your work, but really good work, and it's really easy to enter #2020 Rankin with the category you want to enter. And really nice one, Dylan. Really good to speak to you.
Cheers. Thanks. Have a good evening. See you, Rankin.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.